Jungkook tried to open his eyes, but all that could hear that beeping sound of the machine around him, hissing at the headache caused by the dream that he saw. He was finally able to see. As his eyes were opened, he was in the hospital room, hooked up in IVs, but where was Taehyung? All he remembered was a blast and the pale face in front of his eyes. He was not able to remember anything. The thought alone of any harm causing Tae made his heart crumble. Just as he was trying to remember anything about that incident, that door of the hospital room were opened and entered Namjoon with a warm out face. He tried to sit up, and Namjoon hurriedly walked toward him and helped him in a sitting position. How is he? This was the first thing that left his mouth. Namjoon smiled sadly at his boss's condition. He nodded gently, making him sign in relief. His father died along with Namjoon's job. As he looked at Jungkook's winded eyes, along with, he repeated, making Namjoon clear his thought before continue. Fluffy, Taehyung laughed, face, and he kisses Fluffy roaming in front of his eyes, and he closed his eyes in range. Jungkook was dreading that damn, due to him so many innocent people lost their life. For what information he has gathered about, he know that Taehyung only had his father. There was an orphan now. The thought along him living with some strangers scared him as he shook his head, signing Namjoon to leave. Just as Namjoon left that room, Jungkook held his head in his hand, stretching that Iris allowed some blood to ooze out it, tearing it away. His hand he stood up. That he realized that he was shirtless, with just hospital pajamas on. Looking around for a shirt, he found none, so he left the room just like that. Baby, you need to eat. Please have this. The nurse gave the little boy a sympathetic look and left the room after giving no response again, taking the bowl of soup with it. The door of his room were open and walked Jungkook with a heavy heart. Only one look, but Taehyung's face and all the straight left his body. Only Bubble Taehyung was sitting like a numb doll on the hospital bed looking at the clock. He didn't even feel his presence. Jungkook sighed and walked toward him, sitting beside him on the bed. He gazed at his tiring eyes. Tears were leaked through his eyes as he met his gaze. Taehyung, he softly called him, making him soft or cover his face with dead palms. Jungkook couldn't help but take the hand in his. His red, teary face was enough to make his heart bleed. The boy had created a storm of feeling that not even been tired down at any time now. Please, Major, make it stop. Make it all stop. I'm scared. They begged as he cried in front of him. He couldn't believe his ear. He came to know that he was not John. When Major John Jungkook, he hoped in his heart that he'll understand his motive behind lying to him. At that very moment, he promised himself that he always protect his butterfly, the same fate that brought me to him all over his life with all the happiness of his word. I'm here with you. There was no more word, was strain, emotion or promise. Do you John Jungkook take Kim Taehyung in your name? The priest asked the most important question of his life, making him glare at the finger body covered with thread veil. His small hands were free of any jewelries, and he promised to himself he'd fulfill his all wishes one day. The life turning every happened a moment ago. In a spirit of every possible struggle, Jungkook couldn't do anything to him. He left for and accomplish him last try. He warned blessing from his parents. What he was about to do. He come back where his beauty will live and arrange a small wedding in just his breastfed moments. Jiho and Namjoon arranged everything in a hurry. Jiho and Namjoon were idiots, but he loved them. Jungkook could only groan that best friend and they stupid. They were only way to freedom. Being married, he can always take him with him, and that orphanage will now say it. That exactly what happened. Taehyung had already signed his fate. He belonged to him now. His crossy eyes will look at him. He nodded as a yes and signed the papers, become hymns in every possible way.